So when open banking goes live in any country, the four broad models available to banks and financial institutions are as shown on the screen over here. Those are typically comply with regulations, compete, typically what as fintechs would do, collaboration, and platform plays, right? And in general, in terms of what that means, compliance is essentially exactly what it says, right? So compliance is what a bank or a regulated financial institution has to do to meet mandates by its local central bank. And those mandates are typically related to outward API publishing, so that the broader ecosystem in the country can benefit from it by consuming data via APIs. In this role, banks, what they have to do is ensure they put in place secure technology to publish APIs with the right consent frameworks in place so that any API contract between a fintech slash TPP and the bank is always explicitly based on consent from the consumer, and with the option for consumers or the bank's customers to be able to change, modify, revoke consent at any point in time. A typical concern when you talk about open banking compliance is security, because sometimes the name is a bit misleading. It is banking has never been open. Banking needs to be safe and secure, and it is. In fact, open banking is much more secure than the kind of risk associated with screen scraping that is in fact in place without open banking, or that has been in place for the last many years. And crucially, what open banking delivers is secure frameworks for data sharing using frameworks such as FAPI from the OpenID Foundation. And the Fiorano stack delivers that capability on top of any core banking platform. So it's pretty powerful from that standpoint. The second category is compete, which essentially flips the tables. The bank changes its role from being a data publisher or an API publisher to an API consumer and an open banking data consumer. What that then means is essentially the bank works like a fintech by consuming data from other banks, again based on consent, but on top of that data, building more relevant and contextually, building more contextually relevant products and services based on open banking data that it consumes. And typically the most simple use cases are a single view of a customer's financial life by consolidating accounts and providing a single view in a bank's app of a customer's accounts across multiple financial services or multiple banks. The third model is collaboration, and this typically entails banks and fintechs working together by bringing together the strengths of one versus the other and combining those in a way that offers much more powerful capabilities to the market than each of them individually can provide. And sometimes that takes on the format of the asset being shared in a collaborative format sometimes is technical, sometimes it could be to do with a regulated license. So you may have a fintech which has a great technical proposition but without the right licensing, and quite often what you're seeing in collaborative formats are typically where a bank may offer its services in a format that can be white labeled based on its regulatory license and used by a fintech. And that takes on the format of sometimes BaaS also, which we'll come to in a moment. The fourth category is typically the platform plays, where you see much more larger infrastructure level plays in a country. Typically, when open banking goes live, you have one or two market leaders who offer common shared infrastructure models using a combination of technology, data, and regulatory licenses. Sometimes offered in a white label format, sometimes not, and sometimes it's an ecosystem play. Sometimes it becomes a hub where you offer a shared service, and hence, for example, banks or any party could offer a shared open banking hub that offers a shared compliance service to multiple banks thereby reducing the cost of compliance by using shared infrastructure. And that's quite important from many aspects because, while compliance is key for enabling the market, from an individual bank standpoint, complying with open banking is a must-have. It's more like a hygiene factor now. But what's more important, from a how do I grow the bank standpoint, is how will a bank consume data and use that data to build better products and services. So broadly, those are the four categories: compliance, competing, collaboration, and platform plays.